What is going on, movie lovers and bud smokers, and welcome back to 5 on It. I am Francisco.
And I'm Sir Fraser.
And on today's episode, the Halloween spooky season continues. Last week we did the 1982 classic, The Thing. And today we are doing the 2009 Sam Raimi directed Drag Me to Hell. But before we go any further into that, don't forget that subscribe button. It helps the channel out. It helps a couple of bud smoker, movie lover buds out. Don't forget to throw us a like, maybe a share, and a comment. But Sir Fraser, tell the people what we're watching.
So, we're back at it with the 2009 Drag Me to Hell. For those of you who haven't checked this movie out, definitely do. It's very entertaining. But a quick summary of this one. A lone officer who evicts an old woman from her home finds herself the recipient of a supernatural curse. This movie stars Alison, Lohman, Justin Long, Lorna, Raver, and Dileep and David Paymer, among others. Before we dive into this movie, I wanted to ask you. This is a movie that you put on my radar.
Yes, sir.
I've never seen this before. But we are both familiar with Sam Raimi's filmography. Where would you say this ranks for you in that?
Amongst his filmography?
Is this a higher one for you, or is this like kind of middle of the road, would you say?
Honestly, like, when it comes to Sam, like, I do like his... Well, first of all, I do love Multiverse of Madness. I do love what he did with the Marvel Universe. But obviously his two franchises that stand out are the Spider-Man franchise and the Evil Dead. And I don't think that Drag Me to Hell quite will break through either of those two franchises. I feel like Drag Me to Hell, though, is maybe a little bit better than Spider-Man 3 individually. Mm-hmm. And did Sam Raimi do all three Evil Deads?
Yeah.
Did he? I haven't seen the third Evil Dead, but
Army of Darkness. That's pretty good. That's
yeah. Is that Army of Darkness?
Yeah, that's the third one.
Oh yeah, because it's just Evil Dead 2. So I can't compare it to Army of Darkness, but yeah, it's not quite as good as the first two Evil Deads and the first two Spider-Mans. But I will say it's better than Spider-Man 3. But Drag Me to Hell still, I would say, if we're throwing it in like in a tier ranking, I would say it's tier 2, but it's in probably the top echelon. It's like probably the number one movie in tier 2.
Yeah.
So it's like a very solid B movie for me, man. It's not going to be a world beater or at the box office, it's got a great critic review from the fans, but it's just a very solid B movie. But I'll take the Evil Deads and the Spider-Mans though above it though.
Well, and to your point, man, it also won the Saturn Award for Best Horror Movie. For those that don't know, the Saturn Awards are usually, they really focus on the genres of sci-fi, horror, and fantasy. So, it definitely did get a lot of love. I was actually pleasantly surprised, too, just to go into the reviews. This is a movie that, outside of our conversations, I really haven't heard a lot about this movie. But to your point, it got really good reviews from both fans and critics looking online. What I was thinking about for me with Sam Raimi's filmography, funny enough, the sequels to his two most well-known franchises, Evil Dead 2 and Spider-Man 2, are probably my favorites of his. Mm-hmm. But, a movie that I think this, for me, probably would rank in the tier 2.
Yeah.
But another movie that I did like of his, and he used to always fucking play it on TBS or TNT, was Quick and the Dead. That was a fun Western, gunslinger Western. It's not a great movie by any means, but young Leonardo DiCaprio, the legend, rest in peace, Gene Hackman, Sharon Stone, and Russell Crowe.
I've never even seen that. I never even heard of that movie. I'll have to check it out.
I think as far as 90s Westerns go, there are plenty of better Westerns. Shout out to Tombstone. But it was a fun movie for me.
Man, one other movie that pops out, I haven't seen it in a while, but I watched it in my younger years, is Darkman. That was like, I guess, a little bit of a superhero movie before its time, coming out in the early 90s.
That's up there with The Phantom. Shout out to Billy Zane.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about unforgettable. What was the other one? Remember was it The Shadow with Alec Baldwin? Do you remember that superhero movie from the 90s, The Shadow? Came out in 94. Yeah, it was. I remember having an action figure.
Shadow.
Yeah, it came out in '94 with Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, I never. Oh,
Peter
my
Boyle's
God.
in it. Ian
No,
McKellen.
I've never seen this.
Tim Curry. Yeah, it's an interesting cast. We are in the weeds.
Yeah,
Let me,
we are
let
deep.
me-
Alec Baldwin looks insane. This movie good? You said?
No, I don't know that it's good, but I was just shouting out '90s superhero movies. The Rocketeer.
Oh my
You know,
God.
all these movies.
Fucking Peter Boyle's in it, and Tim
Yeah.
Curry, and Ian McKellen too.
Yeah, right.
Damn, it's got a little bit of an undercover cast to it.
No, for sure.
But this doesn't look very good. That cover
No,
is
it
rough.
wasn't. It was definitely a '90s.
Dude, speaking of the cast, real quick, Justin Long too. That dude is one guy that I swear is like popping up in so many like different type of horror movies, whether it's like a Barbarian or Jeepers Creepers.
Was he in Weapons? I thought
It
saw
came
he had
up-
a credit in Weapons.
It said he got a
don't
credit, and
remember.
I was literally like kind of thumbing through this while we were just talking, and I don't remember him popping up in Weapons, but I also kind of remember him popping up in Weapons because I feel like it was like a small role, but I feel like I saw him because I kind of thought of this whole like conversation piece when I was like, damn, Justin Long is in so many little horror movies.
Yeah.
I feel like he's popping up in so many. It's just, I guess he's like a prince of the horror genre, so to speak.
Well, and it's also interesting because when my intro to him was Dodgeball. I mean,
Yeah.
he was in the comedy lane, and then we talked off Mike. Zack and Miri make a porno. He has a just really funny and random cameo. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Channing Tatum and was it This Is the End?
Yeah.
It was like just really kind of jarring to hear and see this character in this role compared to what I had seen him in previously.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's definitely he has branched out, at least most recently for me, in the horror lane, because I think the first horror movie I saw him in was Barbarian. Did he do anything in horror before that?
Yeah, Jeepers Creepers was like
He was
before.
in Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, he was like the lead.
That's right, you did mention. I never really got into that franchise.
The franchise as a whole is not very good, and there's like some stuff with that whole because the founder or the director or something like that. I don't want to go
Weinstein
into
or
it.
something?
You guys could do your own research about that dude or that whoever that person was. But the franchise as a whole is not very good. But I feel like the first movie and the Creeper has a great like look to him, and even like the sound design like they used for him. He definitely had a very good creep factor, and like but he was also in this other movie called Tusk, which is what they say it's an American independent black comedy body horror film. Like
That's a lot of
God
genres.
damn, I know. Really, they're trying to hit.
Is
Every
this a
goddamn-
spoof movie?
No, it didn't get great reviews.
Okay.
Got 46%, but it's just another horror, but also comedy as well for Justin Long. But I just wanted to shout him some flowers because I mean he doesn't play a major role in this, and from Drag Me to Hell. But I swear, in the horror movie, if you see Justin Long pop up, it's just like a little nod to his career, I suppose.
Well, man, I was gonna say diving into this movie, it was cool. Like the way that we are first brought into this movie with we're like in the late '60s, and this couple, this Latino couple, brings their son to. I mean, I guess what would you call the character? Was it Sandina? The one who does the seance. She tries to do this. She tries to save the boy at the beginning.
Yeah,
Is she like a
Sandina.
medium? I guess. Would you call them a medium?
That's what they categorize as a medium. Yeah.
That was okay. Cool. She was the medium. She was trying to save this boy who was cursed after he stole this necklace, silver necklace, from a gypsy woman, and he is literally living his last minutes. And Dina tries to get the seance ready to save the boy, and as that happens, the devils coalesce and they like descend on them and smack the shit out of everybody.
Dude.
Yo, the way they smacked the mom, I was like, yo, this is starting off on a crazy note right
Bro,
now.
we're already into like the
Dad
Raimi-isms.
gets like kicked in the chest or something.
Bro, it was like some UFC shit. Like people are getting fucked up.
Yeah, and the visuals, dude, of the boy, like the devils coming out of hell and dragging him under, in both times that happens in this movie, was really, the visuals of that were dope. And I love how from there we cut to the credits, and as the credits are rolling, we're getting information about this curse and the toll that it has and the days. I mean, that's always a fun concept. I mean, that's one of the reasons I love The Ring, for example, right? We have that countdown, and for this character, for the cursed, it's 3 days.
Yeah, man, and honestly, like as soon as we get done with like that whole like the seance and it doesn't go well, the Sandina vows to like see and try to cleanse or try to meet up with that devil one more time, and then we get taken into Christine, the character that we're going to follow for the rest of this movie.
Bro, I feel so bad for her because she was not a bad person,
not at all.
And the fact that like she gets the ending that she did when this older woman, first of all, was nasty as hell. Number one. Number two,
she was stealing.
She gave her. The bank gave her two options,
Bro.
and she still went to go protest and see if she could, get her boss to like co-sign giving her an extension. He says, "Hey, it's up to you." Understandable. Well, maybe not understandable, but
I think it's understandable because, like you said, he's given her the opportunity, but she's like looking at a promotion is in line, and she's in competition with this guy,
slimy as fuck.
Yeah, and who's like she has the experience at that.
Stu,
she's got that experience.
Stu Rubin,
but he's good at this job, but he hasn't been there long enough. But also, she knows that the thing that's holding her back is the fact that she can't make the tough calls, and so she looks at this as this is the moment where I have to make a tough call and not let her slide because she's already been given 2 extensions, like you've mentioned. So like it's like a little bit of a con because it's like this, like the reason how she goes. I mean, spoiler alert. All these episodes are always spoiler alert, but how she gets dragged to hell is just because this bitch didn't fucking make her own payments. She's gotten 2 extensions and she says no, and it's like now you're gonna put a life-ending curse on her.
Facts.
Fuck you. God damn.
Also,
bitch.
there was a lot of family members at that funeral. Why couldn't they chip in?
I know none of y'all could have helped.
I'm talking a huge party.
It's like, why is she like at that point? Maybe she wasn't a good person. Maybe she treated her kids like shit, and that's the reason why she's stuck paying for her expensive ass rent. Because, I mean, granted, you want to live a nice, fruitful life. Hopefully, when you have a family, you treat your kids well enough that when you get old and you start breaking down, that they can either pay for you to be in a nice home or you can die in your own home. But if times get tough, that they will pick up the slack for you. And they didn't pick up the goddamn slack. And they let her ass go out there and get her fucking payments late. So this is on them.
Well, I think
Poor Christine.
Justice
for Christine.
I definitely was. I was like, oh man, she did not deserve this ending. But one thing I'd also think is to contextualize. I mean, this movie came out in 2009. You have the financial crisis, a lot of the predatory lending, and a lot of the practices of these banks at that time.
Yeah.
Shout out to The Big Short. That was a great movie. But I mean, in some ways, I wonder, you could read this as a kind of critique of that kind of predatory system that didn't really care for some of the people who were most disadvantaged trying to navigate that system.
Maybe they should have taken away the whole 2 extensions and we would have felt a lot more sympathy.
Oh,
for
yeah.
her.
Yeah. I'd have been like, I'm like, damn, Christine.
Yeah. Or maybe added a little bit, maybe add a little bit more edge to her so like we don't feel so sorry for her.
She was gutting for that.
Because I was just like, beat that bitch's ass when they're having their, like, this is a highlight, when they're having their fucking
in the parking lot.
Yeah, when they're having their one-on-one, because she has a meltdown. Like, she's begging and pleading in the goddamn office, and she's on her knees, and then she ends up, like, just causing a scene in the bank. And then as soon as Christine leaves,
like, you shamed me.
Yeah, you shame me? Like, bitch, get the fuck out of here. Have some pride for yourself. Get up off your goddamn knees.
I ain't gonna lie. When she got on her knees, I would have broke. I'm like, listen, please get up. I'll give an extension, but this is the last one I can do for you. I ain't gonna lie. Because I could not see a grown adult beg like that.
Yeah.
I would have folded.
Especially like an older person. Like if it was a younger person, I probably would be like, man,
well, honestly,
dust yourself off, man.
I mean, dude, man. I don't know. I definitely would have folded. Not even folded. It's not the right word. But I couldn't have let them. Because, you feel like secondhand embarrassment and the shame of the pride that you swallow to do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, listen. You got one more month.
I know.
After that, it's out of my control.
Honestly, they could have did that as well. They could have thrown that in there. Maybe like at that point.
1 month, I curse you. Like, yo, what the fuck? I know. I gave you a month.
Yeah, maybe at that point we would have not felt bad for the old lady at all. We would have just been complete, because it's like if she would have gave her a 1 month extension, and then they go back there and it's like, yeah, I don't got the money, and then it's like, okay, bitch, like what do you want from us? This ain't a free country. This ain't a free world. Get to stepping. But when they get to the parking lot and she sees that her car is still there.
And that handkerchief.
Yeah. Honestly, like the effects for the most part, I would say like the makeup, like on the old woman is still really well done. It still holds up. There are just some moments where the effects still look a little like, yeah, that's definitely very digital. It looks very definitely computerized. Like the handkerchief, you can tell it's like, it's definitely lost a little shine to it. And there's another moment in the movie where they have another fight, because this is only their first fight. But when
she has a few fights, even after she's dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, technically, this is almost like 4 fights. No, we're gonna think
the
of that.
funeral, the graveyard.
Yeah, the funeral. Yeah, hold on. Like this in the car. Then they have one like when she does the eyeballs. Then she has the one at the funeral. Then they have the graveyard scene. So they go 4 fights in this bitch.
Yo, this is a heavyweight slugfest,
and she still loses.
Yo,
man, but like that fight, I like how it's all set up. How she gets into the car, and
yeah, that was a good. It reminded me of Little Weapons.
Yeah,
but yeah, I totally agree. Like because we the camera's following the handkerchief, and then we see right behind her, and she's dimly lit. That whole fight scene in the car is like characteristic, like Sam Raimi. He injects like humor, into these like really dark and chaotic moments.
It's
but,
like there's like
his calling card almost.
Yeah, there's like a sense of like some like grotesqueness to like the fight. Like even when like the old woman and like her. Actually, no, was that earlier? I'm thinking of later on when like she punches him and like her arm goes through her mouth and shit. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Her arm like gets stuck in her mouth. I was like, oh, what the fuck? But then like,
when she's attacking Christine.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then, in the car though, when she's driving and then she slams on the brakes and then the old woman flies forward and then her
teeth
face.
go out.
Oh my god! It's like they choreographed this fight scene like very well. Honestly, all 4 fights, because whether it's the car or the graveyard scene, those 2 scenes are.
She always manages to grab Christine's hair, which is just like also another like hilarious moment, even when she's dead.
I wonder if
the old woman dies,
if that's because like the guy wasn't very clear. Like when she, I mean, I'm not gonna jump around too much. Let me finish like the fight scene, and they have their whole fight scene, but then she ends up like grabbing a button on her, and that's when she puts the curse on her, and then she even delivers that line so well of like, in 3 days you will be the one begging for me. I'm like, damn, this bitch is. They had their little one-on-one, and she's 0 for 1 at this battle.
Yeah, and there's such a funny moment when she gets her out of the car and she locks it, and she's like, "Ha! I won!" And then the older woman disappears and rises with this huge cinder block, and then she just throws it through the car window. I mean, again. This is what I love about Sam Raimi. I mean, going back to earlier, we were talking about Evil Dead 2. Like the slapstick comedy in those movies and in those really dark moments. It's just, I don't know that anyone else can pull it off with a kind of like this kind of flair that he does. I mean, that was present in Multiverse of Madness. He just has that. He has that. It's just become a part of his style, his aesthetic.
I don't know. I can't think of anybody. He has such a unique style where, I mean, that's such a good thing to have, where I don't think it could be, I can't think of anybody that could be compared to him, a Sam Raimi, where you could deliver such good action with good slapstick comedy, and still one doesn't really overtake the other, where it's like, neither one is going too far into the other, where it's still his own genre.
I'm not sure with the timeline of release. I think the first Evil Dead came out before Nightmare on Elm Street, but I can't remember if the second one did. But I'm curious if there was any influence, like stylistically, in terms of like kind of incorporating that humor within horror. and how Freddy was created. I wonder if there was any like inspiration like Sam Raimi that they drew from Sam Raimi. Because when did the first?
Because the first Nightmare on Elm Street
was
Evil Dead 1 came out. Looked like I said 81.
Oh, it was 81. Okay,
81, and Evil Dead 2 came out in 87. Nightmare on Elm Street came out in 84.
Okay,
and then Nightmare on Elm Street. I want to say maybe because Elm Street came out in 2. Nightmare on Elm Street 2 came out in 85, and then so with how well Evil Dead 2 was received with like with that comedy and everything. That's when I would say after 2 is when Freddy starts getting a little bit funny.
Because I feel like that was present in the first one even.
He's funny, but he is very much like dark and kind of more predatory. Okay. I feel like in the first 2. Because even when he's like, you got the body and I got the brain. It's like, yeah, he's laughing, but he's pulling his scalp up. Like the comedy gets a lot more tongue in cheek as the series progresses.
Gotcha.
But I think that does possibly have some merit to it because Evil Dead 2 and Nightmare on Elm Street were both released in 87. So maybe that does have like some merit. God, those two are definitely my favorite. Well, Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Oh, for sure. I love the first one. I haven't seen the other ones lately, and it is spooky season, so maybe we have to go back and revisit those.
I don't know if it'll be on the review list, but you should definitely watch Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Just like a passing, if one night, one of these spooky season nights when you have a little J rolled up, you should definitely put it on, man.
For sure. We're talking about highlights. I do like. Again, going back to what we said, where we have that countdown that kind of adds to the tension. I love when horror movies do that. And I like the way we ratchet up the tension and the torment that Christine is getting from Lamia, the black goat, that's the spirit that's tormenting her, or the demon that's tormenting her. I thought like some of the visuals of that, some of them work really well for me. Other ones, not so much. But I like when she runs into the house upstairs and we see the shadow approach outside the door and we see the hooves. And then when she goes to the window and we see him charge her, the visuals of that didn't really hit for me. Something about the visuals, seeing Lamia chase her when he's in a goat form. I don't know. It's something about it. It just didn't really hit for me. Like the visuals of it.
Or like
remember when she's upstairs and her boyfriend has left. I think he dropped her off, and then she goes up and she locks herself in the bedroom. I think this might be day 2. And then when she tries to get out the window, that's when he charges at her. And knocks her up against the wall. Yeah. Like, the visuals of that, for some reason, it just looked a little odd.
Yeah, that definitely didn't hold up nearly as much. Like when they I don't mind. I didn't mind it too much. Like when you just see like the actual shadow of
that was
the
good.
horns, that looked good. But yeah, when they're actually having like their like kind of their tussle and everything, it definitely it was like it wasn't like horrible, but like for me, but it definitely it's lost a little shine to it.
Yeah. But yeah, the way that they ramp up the tension as she's being haunted and like stalked, basically, I thought that was a cool effect. These really just bizarre nightmares, and also like tying back to her being overweight as a kid, like in the fact that there was always like the ghost of the old woman threw up in her mouth, like the maggots. That was just like a cringy moment.
Yeah.
Or when the woman, like you said earlier, tries to put her hand through her mouth. Like it's interesting, like that they target her mouth consistently, given that the fact that she was an overweight kid, and she seemed conscious of that. Because they even kind of touch on, I'm eating ice cream, so what? Remember, like she's like stressed out and she's going back to eating ice cream. It's like. I thought like that was kind of I thought that was an interesting approach to take, given like the way they wrote that character's history.
Man, another thing too. I mean, thinking of like the whole mouse sequences is the fly scene as well.
Yep.
is like when the fly, like she's sleeping and the fly's just buzzing around, and then it just eventually crawls in her mouth and everything. And she's thinking like, was that real? Was that a dream?
And we're the dinner scene,
and we're also thinking the same thing. Like, was she actually just imagining that? We don't know, because she's been having these weird nightmares about this old lady too, which led to like another tussle she has with the old lady where it was just in her mind. But it's almost Looney Tunes-esque when she's like cutting the rope and then the anvil comes and drops on her head, but then it sprays out her.
What is it?
But then it sprays her eyeballs out, and that was another part where like the effects didn't quite hold up. Like I said, like the certain special effects get has dated a bit, but the makeup still holds up really well.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was really clear to me during the seance scene when one of the medium's assistants gets possessed and he's hovering over the table. I was like, yo, this feels like classic Raimi.
Yeah.
Like, this feels like,
like
Evil Dead era, like Raimi. It gave me flashbacks to scenes in those movies where he did that.
Especially like Evil Dead
face, makeup.
Yeah, the face, and then it go. Well, I'm not sure if it went from him and then the goat, or the goat and then the guy, but it goes for like the spirit. It goes from the goat, and then you go
from
to
the
dude.
Spirit to the medium to the goat, and then when the goat bit him, it transferred to the assistant. But I thought that whole scene was pretty cool too, because it kind of grounds us in that world, like the medium, where other ghosts are also at the home, right? And they're trying to like, it's like there's just other forces that are like crowding around Christine, and the medium just kind of disperses all of them at once and trying to connect with Lamia. I really thought the Indian actor Dileep, I think Dileep.
I like that dude. He was in Inception.
Yeah, Ram, the guy that plays Ram. I thought he did a good job in his scenes. I like the way that it kind of built up tension the first time she goes to see him to get the palm reading, and you see that kind of jump with like he sees like this devil or whatever it is that's cursing her. He can sense it. I thought the scenes with him were pretty strong. And bro, when she killed the cat. Because remember, she's talking. Yeah. She goes back to. I thought about this because she goes back to Ram to try to figure out ways that she can appease the black goat, and
because she thought the seance thought the seance ended it.
She did, but even before that, she consults with
the dude
with Ram, and he gives her the book on animal sacrifice.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And she ends up like weighing it, and she decides to kill their cat.
Which I was like, did you have to kill the cat? You couldn't go out and like find a chicken somewhere. You just had to go and kill your own pet. I was like, damn, bitch. I mean, granted, I don't have a 3-day curse against my name, so I don't know what I would do if that happened.
I mean, he says that to her too. Ram says that too. He said, "You'll be surprised what you do when you're desperate."
Yeah.
When you.
But I'd like to think that I wouldn't take my pet.
Yeah.
I would go out and find
pigeons,
somebody's chicken.
Like, where's the pigeon?
Yeah, exactly. Like
anything.
Oh, but even what is it? When they have the seance scene, the demon even mentions it though. He was like, I don't want your...
He threw up the cat.
Yeah, he threw up the cat. I don't want your pathetic cat. I want your soul. Like, I was like, oh, shit. If you actually see that, it's like, oh, fuck. I think I'm fucked. Because I didn't give that bitch an extension on her on her payments.
Damn.
Like, damn. It's like, I can't believe this whole thing just came down to some bitch who was late on her payments.
Well,
ain't this some shit?
Yeah, no, that was intense. Excuse me. Yo, that weed is hitting. That pineapple burst.
Yeah, I was going to mention something about. I think I actually talked about it. Yeah, but like just kind of see. I just kind of wrote this down. It was a kind of like a funny line when she's pretty much at her wit's end, and she's at like the little diner. And then that the little waitress chick was just kind of being rude to her, like, oh, they don't tip, like keep the tip, because she has to find.
She's only drinking coffee.
Yeah, at this point she has to. I think she's at options, and now she's trying to find somebody to give the button to. and she needs to give it to just anybody. But the guy tells her that if you, obviously, whoever you're giving it to is going to be damned to hell for all eternity.
Yeah,
so,
he gives her that loophole.
Yeah, and he's also going to feel bad about it too because he's telling her how like
He's
what
like,
to
I would
do.
be accomplice. And
Yeah,
then, yeah.
And so like now she's just kind of like just thinking about it, like what is she gonna do? And she goes to the diner, and like the waitress is being kind of rude to her because all she's drinking is coffee, and people that just drink coffee don't tip. And she's like, "Keep the coffee coming, lady, or I'll give you a tip. You won't forget." And it's like, bitch, you are on death's doorstep, so you better just keep that coffee pouring.
Yo, for real. There was another. The scene after that, right, is where she learns about the loophole where, since the soul can never die, technically, this curse can be passed on to a soul, even if they are deceased. Yeah. And so
they seemed like he wasn't like 100% on that. He was like, yeah,
theoretically,
I suppose theoretically,
this could work.
Which kind of leads me to a question I'm going to ask you, but keep going.
Well, after that, she goes and digs up the old woman who cursed her, and this is a highlight for me as well. She literally exhumes this woman's body.
Oh my God.
Opens the coffin and is trying to place, she give this envelope officially and hand over the curse to this dead woman and her soul. Make her the carrier of the burden of this. Also, something that I thought, something that I thought about when I was watching this movie, I like that aspect of this story because it reminded me of another really good horror, and I think better horror personally. It Follows. Did you ever see that movie?
Oh yeah. I thought that was pretty good.
I'm a big fan of that movie, but that was the central premise of that, is that this curse can be passed on, except it's passed on through sex as opposed to the cursed object.
Yeah,
I think that's a really cool characteristic of within horror, like those kind of cool
like all
cool
these
curses.
like curse type movies. I think that's a good aspect of like how can you pass it on. And so like in this, like how It Follows, like you said, is sex.
Yeah.
But in this, it's like you have to make it a formal gift.
Yeah, of the cursed object.
Which is why like. It lends to like when he's kind of like saying like, yeah, theoretically, yes, I suppose. But when it's like you have to make it a formal gift, when you're giving it a gift to a dead person, they're not actually accepting anything. So it's like,
it'll work if you could get it.
Yeah. So it's like, was this like bound to just not work? Or when they have their tussle, like I said, this is a huge highlight, arguably the best scene of the movie, when like she's having a fight with this dead body and she still can't win. She still can't come out unscathed. And
takes a huge chunk of her hair.
Yeah. So do you think is the hair was like that was somehow able to keep that curse alive? Or do you think this curse was just bound to fail because you just can't give a gift to a dead person?
Oh, well, the curse, the kicker in this is the curse failed because she didn't give her the button. She gave her boyfriend's coin that she gifted him. That's what was in that envelope. That's why the curse didn't work.
You know this? I never knew this.
Because remember at the very end in the train track, she says, "Oh, you know what happened?" Because she gets the new coat, right? She gets that fancy coat.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, what happened to your old coat?" She's like, "Oh, I upgraded basically." He's like, "Oh, that's a shame. I found this button would have gone great with it, and it's in the envelope." And remember,
see, I thought it just popped up.
Remember, they're in their car, and he's driving her home at night, and she really doesn't. It's her best. She's trying to figure out who she can give the button to.
Yeah.
And all the papers fall to the floor, and the envelopes got mingled up with the gift that he gave her, which was like a early 1900 coin, quarter, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It got mixed up with the button. And so when she fucking jammed that envelope into the dead woman's mouth, that was his coin.
Wow. I never knew that.
Yeah.
I thought like it was just.
And that's why she backs away scared, because she knows that's the cursed object. She gave the wrong envelope to the woman.
Wow. I never see. I always missed that. Like I never caught that watching this movie. I mean, I haven't seen this like a ton of times, but yeah, that's definitely something I've missed. I thought like the curse was just never gonna work because, like I say, he wasn't really too sure on it actually for sure working, and so I was like, oh, the curse is just bound to just not work, or because like she got the hair that she still was holding on to something of hers, so it just like it caused some sort of rift in the whole thing. I don't know. I was like, we're dealing with curses and people getting dragged to fucking hell. I don't know, and so I just figured it was just something got twisted up in the whole scenario, whatever. But that makes way more sense. Obviously, that actually has like actual like merit behind it, and not just like like some in the curse world this just won't actually work. Like the fact that it was a coin, I'm like, oh man, that's actually pretty cool. Damn, I didn't know that.
Yo, I did not see that coming, bro, because they foreshadowed it in the car where the paperwork gets mingled up in the envelopes, and I did not see that ending coming. Yeah, I didn't realize that was going to be it because she backs away and falls. She backs away terrified and falls onto the train tracks because she realized the curse is still in play. And the visuals again of them grabbing her and seeing like her flesh like melt off.
God, yeah,
dude. Highlight. This ending was. Yeah, it was a trip. I did not expect that.
Dude, I love these type of like, I mean, maybe that makes me sound kind of dark, but I was like, I love these movies that have like kind of bleak or darker endings.
Oh yeah,
because the movies are so like the majority of them are going to tend to end with like the hero triumphing or the whoever.
Hereditary.
Whoever is the protagonist is usually going to somehow come out on top. Mm-hmm. But it's always nice to sometimes see like when it doesn't work out that way.
Infinity War,
man. I
love
it.
The Thing.
Or even like an Inception where it's like, is it or isn't it? Like,
that's more unambiguous than bleak. But yeah, I know what you mean. I don't mind a dark ending. I just need because I mean those can just level you, dude. I mean, I'm just thinking. Would you consider Silence of the Lambs a dark ending? I mean, Hannibal Lecter escapes. I mean, evil triumphs.
I would say it doesn't have to be bleak or just like maybe just different type. I'm not sure what the word would be, but I just like those it's just the endings are against the grain. That's not what the majority would be. Because I said like even Silence of the Lamb, it would be that Hannibal Lecter is still locked up. And
in the chair.
And Buffalo Bob gets captured or he's dead or however. I can't remember what happened. Does he get he gets killed?
Mm-hmm. We should review that. That's a great movie.
But yeah, that's entirely like maybe that's maybe not a bleak ending, but
I definitely think The Thing is a bleak ending.
And like ambiguous,
ambiguous. Yeah, you don't know who for sure is the Thing or if they killed the Thing or not. But we just know they're gonna die.
Yeah. Honestly, and they could do like a Drag Me to Hell too.
I heard that there were talks about doing that as recently as like a couple years ago.
I mean, Justin Long is still doing his thing, so like they could still play on with him and literally pick up where they left off, right there where he's on the train tracks, and he's got the cursed item, so they could just play off like, well, now you have the cursed item, so now it goes to his closest holder. Some shit, I don't know. It's the curse world. You can make it up whatever you want. But
horror's doing really well this year. I mean, of late. I mean, Sinners is categorized as a horror. Weapons as well, and both of those critically and box office wise were successful.
That movie,
very successful.
Together, that was a really good movie. I enjoyed that a lot.
Wasn't
with Alison Brie and Dave Franco?
Yes. What was that movie though you were telling me about? With Ethan Hawke, where he plays the villain.
Black Phone 2.
Is that coming out this year?
Goes out next week.
Yeah, I mean, the first one was pretty successful from what I remember.
Dude,
and I thought it was critically successful, no?
The first one.
Yeah.
First one is dope, man. And Ethan Hawke delivers a great performance as always. But I heard the second one is solid, but not as good. So I'm definitely very interested to see how it turns out. But yeah, and it definitely has like some Freddy Krueger vibes to it because he's attacking them in their sleep somehow. And I heard that too. Like it definitely has like those elements to it. But I don't know. We'll see how it turns out though.
For sure. What's to say, man? Is there anything else you wanted to cover before we pivot to scores? I thought you said you had a question. I can't remember if you asked. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and yeah, it was about like the hair and the
Oh, yeah.
the seance, or that's not seance, but the graveyard scene.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we can pivot to scores.
Man, I'll kick us off.
For it.
This is a 3.5 for me. I
Nice.
really enjoy this movie. It's fun. I don't know that it's a movie that I'll go back to a lot. And as I said earlier, I think as far as Sam Raimi's own horror filmography, I think this is in the second tier. But I do think it's a good movie. I'm glad I saw it. Low-key kind of surprised that I'd gone this long without seeing it. But yeah, it's well executed, fun story, surprise ending. Definitely worth checking out. It's spooky season, and if you haven't seen this movie, definitely worth your time.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you enjoyed it because I definitely enjoy this movie a lot. And yeah, since you enjoyed like Evil Dead, I thought you would probably enjoy it, but you never know. With movies, it's beauty is in the eye of the beholder, man. But for me, I'm going with a 4. I'm just going just slightly above you. Definitely, like man, like I said, like the makeup still holds up. Some of the action scenes with like the fight scenes between those two characters. Some of the cons, obviously, like some of the effects haven't like aged a little well, like the special effects.
But I think arguably though, in the biggest moments, the CGI looks great and it still holds up. Like the actual dragging them to hell scenes.
Yeah. Like
A1.
The effects were like they've aged. It's not gonna take you out of the movie at all. Not in my opinion. And the high notes, like I said, where the makeup or the fight scenes, it's the choreography or even the sounds, like they knock it out the park.
And it sticks to landing, man. Which a lot of movies, that can be a lot of movies don't do that. Let's be real. This movie absolutely does.
Yeah, and it ends on like it's not going to end on such a positive note, but like the note it lands on is such a high note for me. And it has like great rewatchability. You get the classic Sam Raimi comedy as well, but he doesn't overdo it.
Very true.
Yeah, he has a great way. I may have mentioned earlier. He has a great way of finding balance between his action and his comedy, and where like the comedy doesn't bleed over too much. Where it's like, all right, we're actually it's not really action, but it's like his action with like a Spider-Man, so to speak, or an Evil Dead, but the comedy doesn't overdo it with the horror in this aspect. It still has like some horrifying and grotesque moments, but it also still has the slapstick and tongue-in-cheek moments as well. So with that, yeah, I'm giving it a 4. But before we end the episode, is there anything that you're high on right now, Sir Fraser?
Something I'm very high on is a movie we actually we caught together opening week, and that's Tron Ares. Visually, this movie's beautifully done. The soundtrack kicks ass. The storyline is very capable. I don't go personally to Tron for a great storyline, but I think it is a good storyline, and it's a step up from Tron Legacy. We reviewed that recently. Check it out. Yes, and I still love that movie. And Cisco and I talked about this off mic. When I compare the special effects of Tron Legacy and Tron Ares looks better, but it's not a big gap. Yeah. It's not a big gap the way that Legacy was from the original Tron.
Yeah.
That is light years. This, it's more of a 1A, 1B. I mean, and that speaks to, that's not a knock against Ares. That's a compliment to how great the special effects in the original were. And I suspect that, I fully expect Tron Ares is going to age just as well 15, 20 years from now.
Yeah,
because they do a really great blend even of the old grid and the new. Yeah. And yeah, it's just aesthetically, it's very pleasing. A lot of rewatchability for me as well because of that.
Yeah, and like the things that you think that you are going to come to a Tron movie for, they knock out the park. Mm-hmm. The soundtrack is great. The score is great. The sound's awesome. Visually, it's a masterpiece. I can't find like any flaws really. I'm no expert, but I can't find any flaws like in the visuals of it. Things just like it's like from this to from Ares, from Legacy, yeah, it's a little bit of a step up, I suppose. It just looked maybe a little bit cleaner in certain aspects, like where like they're gliding on the water. But Legacy is still such a great movie, and especially for how old it is, it still holds up to this day. Yeah, Ares was a kick-ass movie, man.
Yeah. What about you? What anything else you're high on?
Oh, well, hold on. What would you? Well, since we're talking about Ares, what would be your quick 5 on its score? Then, what would you give Ares?
4.
A 4?
Definitely 4.
Yeah, I would agree. I can't remember honestly. I know we just did. I want to say I gave Legacy a 3.5. I can't quite remember, but I want to say I gave.
I think I
Legacy
gave it a 3.5.
Yeah, I want to say you did as well.
Yeah.
But I would give Ares a 4, and it has rewatchability plays a role in my score. And Ares would definitely be a movie I would rewatch for sure, especially on the big screen too. Definitely go check that out if you haven't.
Yeah, this is a win for Disney, and I really hope that they don't allow so much time to elapse between this and the fourth film.
Yeah,
because I think that would be a disservice to this franchise and its fans.
Yeah, it ends on a note that
very promising note
where it ties into some legacy characters as well, or Tron legacy. I don't want to say maybe legacy for whatever for the lore or whatever. But so that also leads to people, if you haven't seen Legacy, to go check that out, because Olivia Wilde's character potentially could be coming back if they do a fourth one, which hopefully they bring in Garrett Hedlund's character.
Hopefully Sam.
Yeah, I feel
Sam
like
Flynn.
that's where they missed the boat a little bit. They could, I feel like they could have brought Sam into this movie as well, or maybe even given him some scenes to tie in some of the characters like emotional connections.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they missed the boat, I feel like, on like some of the Sam stuff.
You know what? And this is just one of those franchises that the critics just don't get it. I don't think the critics get it. The fans do. The fans have been, many fans have been just reading online, really excited about this movie. And a lot of them will say, don't believe the reviews, see this movie. I loved it.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I love this movie. We got out of there. It was like, we were talking about what we thought. I said, this is a kick-ass movie.
Yeah, the story is not bad enough where it's going to be like, man, I feel like if you're trying to look for a deep movie in Tron Ares.
What are you doing here?
I don't know,
How did you get here?
Bro, just like the story is good enough and the performances are well enough that it's not going to lose you. Go see it on the big screen. And the 9 Inch Nails soundtrack, you're going to be vibing to it the whole time. Just fucking like close your eyes, like put some sunglasses on and just vibe through the whole damn movie too. You could just do that. But one movie that I'm high on that I just watched recently, it is an older flick. It's called Manchester by the Sea.
Ooh,
2016 film. It was up for Best Picture.
A heartbreaker.
Yeah, a Casey Affleck won. I'm not sure. Was it Best Lead, right? It can be supporting.
I think so.
Yeah, and the movie also was produced by Matt Damon as well. But damn, this movie is definitely a tearjerker. If you haven't seen it, it's about a man who's like dealing with pretty much
PTSD.
Yeah, some PTSD from some trauma that he's dealt with. That his kids unfortunately passed away in a house fire that was caused by him, and his wife almost passed away as well. Yeah, accidentally. But he's dealing with like the guilt and the trauma that was left behind from that. And now he's been put in charge of his nephew, his brother's kid, and his brother has unfortunately passed away as well.
Those were really sad flashbacks too.
Yeah, the movie is like beautifully done with like some flashbacks. Mom. Yeah, like if you're not like good with like tear jerking like drama films like that, definitely don't watch it, because it is going to pull at your heartstrings. But if you're looking for like a good overall film that's like gonna like hit home and like really like some good performances, like Casey Affleck delivers like a fantastic performance, and for him like dealing with, just like I said, just the guilt that he's like just suffering from like his kids passing, and like dealing with also his nephew who's a little fucking dick. Like his like let's call it, like, I know your father passed away as well, so he's dealing with some shit as well. Have you seen this movie?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like when
saw it last year, I think, for the first time.
Oh really?
Yeah.
When obviously like his son or his nephew his dad passed away, his brother passed away. They're both dealing with it, but he's having like pain or something like that in his stomach, And Casey is just like trying to like figure out what's going on with you. Do I need to take you to the hospital? What's going on? And he's just like, fuck you. And he just kicks down that fucking door. And it's like, what the hell is going on? And I was like, oh shit, that kid just jumped up and he was just like, yes, all right. Like there's a moment where it's like, you got to stop fucking around and talk to me. I'm trying to take care of you. And I wish like it's not a perfect film by any stretch. I'm not sure what the other movies that it was up against that year. I'm not going to say if it was deserving or not deserving. I'm not going to go into that. It is a well done film overall, but like some of the shortcomings was I felt like they could have had maybe a more of a connection with the nephew or had a scene with them like when he broke down and started crying because like they couldn't bury their the father, the brother, because the water or the ground was frozen. I feel like they could have had more of like a scene with them, kind of talking about that, or just I don't know, just to have a little bit more dialogue with one another, going over like their loss because they both lost somebody.
Yeah, just to back up though. So Best Picture for 2016 was Moonlight.
Oh, another movie
I love
we reviewed.
That.
Yeah,
check out that review. That was one of my favorite movies that year.
What else was up for that year?
Arrival, great movie for me personally.
I've never seen that. That's a Denis Villeneuve movie too.
Yep. Fences, that was a damn good movie.
That's a tearjerker too.
Yeah, Hacksaw Ridge, never saw that one.
That's kind of a tearjerker in a way too.
One of your favorites, Hell or High Water.
Oh, shit.
Hidden Figures, which was cool. It was cool. La La Land, also cool. I thought that was a little overrated.
Probably never will see it.
Manchester by the Sea and Lion. Those were the movies nominated.
Damn, that was a year of tearjerkers, man.
Yeah,
I would say it's maybe deserving. It is up in there. I haven't seen all those films, but yeah, I would say it's probably deserving. I'm not gonna say if it should have won because Moonlight was fantastic. Hell or High Water was fantastic. There's some great films.
Arrival. Yeah.
But Casey Affleck delivered, like I said, a fantastic performance. But I feel like the film could have used a little bit more connection with him and his nephew, and also with him and his wife. Like they have a moment that's like very hard to watch sometimes because they're both dealing.
It was so heartbreaking. Those moments with her. That was.
They're both going.
I rewatched those scenes. I was like, damn, the acting in these scenes is so good.
And honestly, I think Michelle Williams sometimes gets a hard time maybe in the media, but like, man, she's a great actress as well.
Blue Valentine, she's been in some great movies.
But man, I would have loved to see them. Maybe they could have shown like the ending scene would have been him walking into a diner or restaurant, whatever, to grab lunch with her. So you at least know that like he's gonna have this talk with her. Or they're gonna have a moment together.
Yeah, there was no closure there.
Yeah, it's like because like she was even trying to apologize for how she acted.
She was like actively processing her loss.
Yeah,
and she had moved on. Also, to be fair, but Casey was like just burying himself in work.
I felt like he was just like
And
obviously
running.
he felt so guilty and he just didn't want forgiveness. But it's like, bro, you're like dusting her off like she didn't lose her kids as well. It's like if anybody you should talk to, you should talk to her.
Yeah.
And you guys should talk together because you both lost your kids. You both lost each other as well because your marriage ended because of this like horrible mistake. Like it's a movie that will like, incite a lot of conversations and feelings and everything.
Dude, the flashbacks too with them when they were married.
Yeah.
Those were hard, man.
Even like when they're having fun too.
Well,
like,
because you see that they genuinely love.
They
They genuinely loved each other, and you see just like you're getting details on how and why they separated.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. Oh.
Yeah, man. If you haven't seen Manchester by the Sea, definitely watch it, but have some Kleenex ready because you might need them.
It's a heavy movie, no doubt. Well, that's our episode for this week. Stay tuned. We've got a couple more. Well, actually, no, we got one more Halloween movie for you guys, and then we'll be pivoting in November. We still got a lot of options out there. We're not sure quite what direction we're going to go, but stay tuned.
Peace.